Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Usually we'd say good morning.
That is very true.
Happy first day of fall. It's the first official day of fall.
How exciting. I love fall, you guys.
And for those of you that don't know, it was the Crystal Crankster's birthday yesterday.
It sure was.
She turned 23.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And 14 years experience.
Yeah.
You do the math. In the industry. Oh, goodness.
Perfect. So we are going to be doing, hello, Miss Sandra. We're going to be doing a design today inspired by fall, the colors of fall. We're going to be using some of our beautiful color gels. We're going to be using some gold art gel, which is so sparkly if you haven't had a chance to use it yet. I'm using a mix of some of our gel polishes as well. I've got a base of our builder base on a tip here. I'm using tacky top. I'm using no wipe. I'm using brushes. I'm using everything.
To create this beautiful design.
Yeah.
They are gorgeous, Natasha.
Thank you. And dun 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 dun. Let's get a close up here. We are featuring some of our clear as mud flat back crystals in some new shades, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They are online now.
They are. I know. I looked at Crystal. I'm like, wait a second.
Totally.
No, but they are.
Go ahead.
They're online.
Perfect.
Yeah, and they are so sparkly. Like the facets in them, they're just so reflective. The ones I have on here, this is the yellowish one is Topaz, Colorado Topaz, I believe, or Topaz.
Yes, I haven't played with those ones yet, so you are first to do so.
I love it. And then we've also got, I believe this is Cape Blue. Cape Blue. So
let's see.
I think I'm right.
Are they Cape? Those ones are
no, Peacock.
Sorry,
yeah. Peacock Blue.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm still learning the ropes, folks.
No baby.
So let's get started. So what I've done ahead of time is I have prepared one of my Tippy's tips here. This is a number 4 size, and I have gone ahead and I've applied a base of Fufu Builder Base, and I've removed the inhibition layer and then buffed the surface. So I'm acting like I have done set on a client. So we've got a finished file nail here. I've also pre-mixed ahead of time. I've pre-mixed some shades to do the background work for like the tortoise kind of shell design and then the leopard print design. So I've taken number 5, number 166, and number 65 with tacky top to create this kind of amber shade, and it is a little bit sheer. Once it goes on the nail, you'll be able to see it better. This is number 65, which is like a deep chocolate brown gel polish shade mixed with tacky top. Then in this row down here, we've got some beautiful fall shades from our color gel line. So this is number 22. Let me just double check that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this beautiful turquoise is number 22. This gorgeous olive green is number 24. And this beautiful reddy brown is number 34. Then I've got some black art gel on my palette as well. I've got a little bit of tacky top down here just to clean my brush as I work. And I didn't put any of my gold art gel on my palette simply because if you do use our sparkle art gels, just be aware that they do cure a little bit faster than the other art gels. So when you're using it, try to just get a little bit out as you're going to use it, put it on your palette, and then seal your jar just to avoid any issues with anything curing. Let's jump on into it, shall we? So first things first, we've got our client's nail, and it's all finished filed. I'm gonna do just one of these kind of half design nails here, one of these ones. So I'm going to start with the design portion, the kind of section that has a little bit of a design in there. I think we're gonna go ahead and do the tortoise one because I'm really feeling tortoise shell lately. So let's start and lay that out where we want to put that down first. So using my amber shade here, I'm just gonna use my painter brush, load my brush a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna pick a side. I'm gonna be coming from this side down. So I want a bigger section on this nail of the tortoise shell, so I'm going to make a wider swooshy line. There's going to be some technical terms here today. Swooshy line, so we're going to, it's thinner up here, and as we come down the nail, we're going to widen it a little bit and swoosh it downwards. Now, the beautiful thing about this design is because we are going to be working in sections, you can kind of perfect the lines as you go. So I'm just basically laying down the color, and then with my next lines, because I'm going to be using the other colors on my palette to add different lines around, I can kind of perfect things. So I'm not going to cure this yet because in order to do a kind of a tortoise shell design, we almost want to work a little bit wet on wet. That'll help kind of disperse the colors a little bit. So I've got my amber color down. I'm going to come in with my semi-sheer kind of brown color. I'm not worrying about cleaning off my brush because if the colors mix a little bit, that's a-okay. We're going to do that anyways. In that wet layer, I'm just going to start dabbing little spots of brown. Anywhere you like. And we're basically working from the bottom up. So we're working on our background here. We're going to cure it, and then we're going to come in and we're going to start layering different spots. We're going to start with, I'm going to pop this in a lamp for a cure. So we've got our base down. Then we're going to come in and we're going to use just some number 65 on its own, I think. So that's going to leave a brown spot on there, and then we're going to cure that, and then we're going to come in with some of our black art gel to create the depth and dimension that we have here in this section.
That looks so cool, Natasha.
Yeah, thanks. All about the fall stuff, and it definitely feels like fall here today. It's raining, Christina.
Oh, no way.
It is. It's Crystal's favorite. Okay, so we've done a cure on this. So now I'm going to come in, and you know what, I'm not going to go on with the stark brown. I'm just going to mix a little bit of that sheer brown in with number 65 to make it not as solid, but not as sheer as our first layer. Just a little bit on my brush. We are going to slightly overlap. And Christina is hanging out with me here, and she's helping in the comments too. So if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask.
Actually, instead of texting it out, I can just speak, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So Natasha is using our Ugly Duckling color gel number 22, which is the blue, number 24 and 34. And she's also custom mixed some of the gel polish. Natasha, if you wanted to go over those again quickly.
Yes. So to create the amber color, the first color that we used in the base of our tortoise shell, I used number 5, which is an orange, number 166, which is our mustard yellow, and number 65, which is a deep, deep brown. And then I mixed it with Tacky Top to create this amber color. I used mostly 166, then a little bit less of number 5, and then just a dash of number 65. Just because, keep in mind, whenever you're working with darker shades, dark colors can very easily overtake anything that you're doing because they're so pigmented. So just mix a little bit as you go. I tend to always mix a little bit extra. I always have little white jars kind of on hand that I will put stuff into so I don't waste. So that's the mix for that. Then this here, the light brown that we mixed was just 65 with Tacky Top to create translucent brown. And then this is 65 with just a little bit of the translucent brown mixed in, so it's has a little bit more coverage.
Great.
So now we're going to go ahead and we are going to start doing the first coat or first layer of our tortoise shell, the black spots. So I'm using my black art gel, and I'm just going and loading up my Painter 2 brush here. This is our newest brush. I just gotta crouch down. I think I need my prescription changed on my glasses. I'm getting old, folks. So we're just laying down kind of where we've overlapped the first layer of brown, the second layer of brown. We're gonna start overlapping slightly with some uneven shapes of the black art gel. I tend to make them a little bit more rounded, not perfect circles. I'll usually do like a bigger one and then a smaller one next to it. Then I'll come over here. Now, keeping in mind that we are going to be doing one more layer of black spots on top, so I don't want to completely cover everything underneath because I do want some of that color that we just laid down to show through when we do our next layer and our final layer. So just laying down those spots. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the lamp for a cure. And our black art gel, all of our art gels are very, very pigment rich. So a little goes a long way. Apply sparingly just to ensure they cure thoroughly. And you really don't need a lot anyways. The color payoff is beautiful. So no need to waste product, which I'm guilty for. I will always put too much on my palette. I don't know about you.
I think, and that's the same thing when I sculpt.
Yeah.
And with gel and acrylic, same idea.
Yeah.
Basically what you see on the palette there, you would never go through. It would probably, you know.
No.
But it's just nice to see it on the palette, yes.
So you guys can see what's going on. The caramel color. I'm just looking at the comments here, seeing if we missed anything. Oh yes, I see the question now. Why did you mix Tacky Top in with the caramel color? That's to make it sheer. Because the colors that I mixed together are opaque, so they're solid. So I wanted to make it semi-sheer, just so we can see, whoops, some layers. You'll see now, especially when I put it over the black. You'll see here. So I'm using that caramel color again. Oh, actually, I'm going to take a little bit of orange. This is number 5, so this is the orange that I used in there. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of the caramel color in with the orange. This is what happens. As soon as I start working, I have color all over my palette. But that's what it's good for.
Well, that's the palette, right?
Exactly. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in sections just randomly over what we've just done. And yes, I am gonna cover those black dots because we want them to look like they are in the background. And you'll see once we add more black on top, you're going to see the depth and dimension in this design.
It's basically like I was looking at a photo yesterday of trees.
Yeah.
Like in the distance.
Yes.
It's lighter in the distance.
Exactly.
Darker moving forward.
You got it.
Cool.
You got her.
Art 101.
Okay, so we've layered that color over top. We're going to pop that in for a quick cure. And then we're going to put some more black dots on top, and we're going to stagger them just like we've done here. So you can, I hope you can see, I'm not too sure. They're kind of faded in the background a little bit, and then we've got some really prominent, really rich black spots on top. So for the leopard print, I used the same colors for the background. Basically, all I did was, instead of doing just the caramel color first, when I laid down the background for the leopard print, I pretty much picked up some of the caramel color, some of the orange color, a little bit of brown, and as I was painting, I kind of just swirled them together so you get a multi-tone background, and then I just painted the black leopard spots on top. Keep staring at the crystals.
I agree.
So pretty. Okie dokie. So now we're going to come in, we're going to do our last little layer of our black spots. So again, going back to my black art gel and my trusty painter 2 brush, and we are going to come in and kind of slightly overlap on some of the black spots that we've done. Make them a little bit wider, a little bit different shaped. Do a random spot here or there. I'm going to do one back up here because it's looking a little bare. Okay.
I think you do amazing tortoiseshell.
Oh, thanks.
Like, you're just amazing.
It's
so real looking, you know?
I love this design, especially this screams fall to me.
100%.
I love it. And leopard print. But leopard print and tortoiseshell, I feel like never go out of style.
Mm-mm.
They're classic. They're like what I call neutral patterns. You know, you can kind of pair them with anything. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to pop that in the lamp for a cure. And then we're going to start on our other lines to bring it all together. So basically what I did is I started with one of the solid colors. I left the gold till the end just to see kind of where I needed to add something. just a pop of something, because even without the gold it looks pretty together, but I find that gold just gives it an extra pop and makes it look really elegant. And sometimes it's hard to kind of tell where you need it until you've got all the other colors laid out. So we'll leave the gold till the end. I'm just going to tap my brushes here, clean them while that's curing.
So who has tried tortoiseshell? Who's watching who has tried tortoiseshell before? And what would be your favorite animal print to do?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because I remember doing zebra a long time ago, but I feel like I haven't seen zebra too much. It's always a lot of leopard print and tortoiseshell.
Yes.
So what is your favorite to do?
What is your favorite to do?
Yeah. Mine?
Yeah.
I love that. Well, seeing as I've never done tortoiseshell, probably leopard.
Okay.
But you definitely make it look very easy, Natasha.
Oh, well, thank you. It is.
It's just nice to see, you know?
Everybody kind of will have their own style, too, of how to do it. So somebody may do it differently than I do, and may do their spots differently. But it is, once you kind of get it down pat, it's easy, and it's something quick that you can do for your clients, too. Okay, so I've got my striper brush here, and we are going to go ahead and dig into some of these beautiful rich tones of our color gel. I think I'm going to start with number 24. This is this beautiful olive green shade, and I'm actually wearing it on my nails now because I love it.
It is gorgeous.
It is. So because I'm going to start my line off thicker. I'm going to load my brush a little bit more than I normally would do if I was doing like really precise line work, just because I want to get some product on the nail and work with it on the nail. So I'm loading up my brush a little bit here. Now, seeing as this down here is thicker, I may, if I was working on my client, am I in camera? Sorry. I would get her to flip her hand over so her nails were pointing up at me like this. And because I'm right-handed, it's just easier for me to kind of pull down this way, I think. So I am going to lay down my color here, the bulk of my color. And then we are going to start pulling our brush, and I'm really kind of just letting the brush pull that product and gently start to curve my brush upward as I get closer to my tortoiseshell design. Pull that product, load a little bit on my brush. I don't need a lot because I do have quite a bit of product on the nail. And I'm going to kind of perfect my line between my tortoiseshell and the olive color with the olive shade. So this is what I mean. I didn't have to be super precise with my tortoiseshell there because I'm just going to clean it up with this color anyways. These colors are super pigmented. They're really beautiful to work with. They're great, obviously, for full color, but they're wonderful for art too. So if you haven't had a chance to try them yet, I highly suggest you do. Okay, and as I'm coming to where I want the line to taper, you can tell down here I'm using a lot of the body of my brush, and then as I'm working towards the outer edge again where I want the line to taper, I'm kind of releasing pressure off the brush, and you can tell I'm working with mostly the tip there until I come off the nail. And then you can flip them back around. This design would not be a totally relaxing experience for your client because we're going to make them flip their hand here, there, and everywhere. So you can go ahead and you could cure this right now if you wanted to. If you're working on a client, you could work back and forth. But since we're working on a tip, I am just going to go ahead. I'm going to clean my brush off. Just wiggle it in a little bit of that tacky top. And I'm going to go ahead and add my second color. So I want to add, I think, number 34, which is this beautiful, rich red tone brown here. Just because it'll go really well with that coppery, caramelly kind of color we made. So I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to start thick up here and come thin down here. So loading my brush, being mindful not to touch the side. We're going to lay out the outer edge of our line here first. I'm dragging and pulling that brush, following the line that we made with our tortoiseshell somewhat, and making it come to a point on the outer edge here. I'm gonna come up here where my tortoise shell starts. We're gonna butt that color up there and lighten the pressure, come to a point. We're gonna fill that in.
Yeah, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous.
Isn't it pretty?
I love it.
And it's so funny, it's not normally a color like I would reach for to wear personally, but when I see it in a design and I see it next to other colors, I'm like, oh, it's just so rich.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's beautiful.
Okay, so we've got those two colors together. So now I'm not feeling too brave. And plus I'm gonna be working on either side of those. So I don't want colors to blend together. I'm gonna pop that in a lamp and cure that. And as we're doing that, I'm just gonna work product out of my brush. I've got a clean wipe here next to me, so I'm just gonna wipe off the excess. And then I'm gonna come in my tacky top, gently wiggle my bristles in there. And this is how a good way to keep your brushes conditioned and to clean them so that they'll keep their shape. And drying, or oh my goodness, I lost my words. Cleaning them with alcohol or gel cleanse all the time can be really drying to them. It can cause them to fray. They're such delicate brushes, art brushes, so cleaning them with tacky top is the best way that we find to keep your brushes for a long time. Okay, we're almost there, I think that should be good. Okay, so I did those colors pretty darn thin and we got some really great color payoff. Really nice and opaque. So now I'm gonna come in and this beautiful teal color is number 22. I'm gonna load my brush up with that a little bit here.
I think that's gonna be my favorite. It just pops the design so
does.
beautiful.
Let's do, where should we do it?
What are you doing on the tip?
Well, I don't know if I should do some blue down here and then have gold and gold.
Yeah, that's
okay.
what I think.
Okay. So again, at this point, I would get my client to flip her hand over. Too much on my brush there. Make sure sorry guys, I keep kind of going off. Lay my brush down. We're gonna swoop that down. If I have to pull off, that's okay. If you have to pull your brush off, just to continue the line, don't start right where it stopped. Go up a little bit further, and that way you can join the line. It's more seamless that way. You won't really see where you started and ended. Okay, we're gonna fill that in. Gotta get close here. And just butting up to that gorgeous red brown, which is number 34, color gel. I don't know if I said that. These are color gel colors that I'm using right now. Okay. All right, we got that in place. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna cure this because I'll do my gold at the same time. So we're gonna pop that in a lamp. Just make sure that the line is carried all the way down to the very free edge. We're gonna cure that.
So, now, Natasha, how would you finish a nail before you applied the color to an enhancement?
So for this nail, actually, I even applied a base of our Fufu builder base because I wanted that nice Fufu color on there. So I would finish file. I always finish file with a medium grit sanding band or hand file, and then if I'll very, 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 very lightly buff with a fresh medium grit buffer. That's how I do it. How do you?
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to know, just with this kind of art technique.
Yeah, because you don't want any. I mean, typically we don't ever want any major deep lines in our nail when we finish file, anyways. But especially when you're putting art on top, because the color can kind of bleed into those fine grooves too.
Totally.
So it would mess up your line work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Yeah. Alrighty. So now I'm going to take some of this. I don't know. Have you guys seen this gold? Are you ready for it? It's like gold foily goodness. It is so glittery. So I'm gonna grab my duck paddle, and now I'm gonna put a little bit of this on my palette here. Let's do a little mix. So sparkly. I love it. And this is very pigmented also. There's a lot of glitter packed in here, so it's great for line work. Can be a little finicky at first, but if you give it a stir, and if you find that it's too thick for you, you can always add a tiny bit of tacky top in there just to make it a little bit more fluid. But I think it's pretty darn good on its own personally. It's just your personal preference.
Could you use that as a full contact?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so pretty.
Because it is so pigmented, little goes a long way, so it would work fine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I put it away, but I still need my striper brush. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna load this baby up with some of this beautiful gold. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna fill in this area here that I've left open because I really want some of this gold showing. Not just a little tiny bit, we wanna show it off a little. Just applying that in a nice even coat. You could always outline, like do the line next to the color beside it, and then if you have a larger area to fill in, you could always use like the painter brush or the painter too if you wanted to, but I'm just using the striper, so we wanted to keep going. There's one area of the gold. Now I'm going to flip my client over, and actually I lied. We're going to do the thicker part up here and work our way down. Get that product on there, and then you can kind of manipulate it and move it around.
Kathy says she's late, but she's here, and she says hi.
Hi, Kathy. Perfect timing. We brought out the sparkles just for Kathy. Okay, so I've got that product on the nail already, and I'm really just kind of working that into place. If I need to load more on my brush, I will, but this goes a long way. So as I'm working down, this is wider down here, so as I'm working down, I'm tapering this line, my gold line, to be thinner. So we're kind of working opposite. When one edge is thicker, then the line beside it is going to be thinner, and then vice versa. I hope that makes sense. Pull that color over. I'm going to add a little bit more on my brush just because I want to pull a little bit more down to that point so we can really see that nice crisp line. Okay. Slightly hold my breath as it gets thinner. And pull to a point.
Looks gorgeous, Natasha.
Thank
Man, does
you.
that pop it, hey? That
I know.
little glitter.
It definitely does.
So much dimension.
Okay, so let's go ahead and cure this now. And today we're going to finish off with our no wipe top coat, just because I really want that gold to shine, and you'll really be able to see the dimension in the tortoise shell that we created also. I hope everybody's having a good day. Midweek already? We're already at Wednesday?
Wow, unbelievable, hey?
I know.
Good.
Good. That's good. Just cleaning up my brushes here as we're waiting for that to cure. And I don't know if I mentioned or not, but our gel polish, our color gel, our art gel, they are a 60-second cure in the Ugly Duckling LED lamp.
Amazing. And yes, Natasha will post a list of all the products
Yes.
used at the end when we post it.
You betcha. Alrighty, let's bring this back out. And I'm going to grab my no wipe top coat. Dun, 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 dun. If you wanted to, if you found that your nail was lumpy or bumpy at all, you could take a little bit of tacky top, and you could do a thin coat of that over top just to kind of help smooth everything. But I think this is pretty darn good. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply my nice coat of No Wipe Top Coat. I really love the shade of our Fufu Builder base too.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Nice color. If for some reason you found that when you applied it was a little bit bumpy, you could also apply a thin layer of the builder base over top if you needed to. If you are worried about building or adding bulk to your enhancement, then I would apply a thin layer of the tacky top, let it kind of self-level into any areas that need it, and then you can apply your No Wipe Top Coat. Okay, let's pop that in.
Yeah, that looks lovely.
I don't even know what we would call this. We'll just call this fall.
Fall?
This is just fall. Fall nail.
Yeah, I agree. The colors speak for itself, and just the combination of between the art gels and the gel polish colors. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Here's my palette. There we go. Cool. Okay. We are all done. Are you grabbing some stuff for me?
I was looking, but I can't see.
That's okay. So our little fall design nail is complete. You guys could pair it. You could just do one nail as kind of a feature nail. You could do a set like this if you wanted to. Really, the possibilities are endless. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. And as Christical mentioned, when I post this, I will go ahead, it'll take me a couple minutes, but I will go ahead and I'll post all the products that I used today, including the colors, so you guys can try it out for yourself if you wanted to recreate it, or use any colors that you have on hand. They're Ugly Duckling. Make sure you do tag us though, because we'd love to see your work when you use our products.
And we'd love to repost them.
Yes, absolutely. So from Christical and I, we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. And
I thought I'd just mention, I think we're going to put an ad out pretty soon, but if there's anything in particular that you would like to see us demo over the next little bit, whether that's live, little things that Natasha's doing with our nail products, let us know, reach out to us, and you can send us an email. We'd love to hear what you guys are looking for.
Absolutely. We want to create more content that you guys would like to see. So let us know what you would like, and you can send us an email to contact@uglyducklingnails.com or reach out to us on our Ugly Duckling Facebook pages. We love to chat.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, guys, take care, and we will see you later on.
Lots of love from the Ducklings.
Bye.